Hey there, welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into the dark and gritty world of injustice. Gods Among Us, Year 1. If you've ever wondered what would happen if Superman, Earth's symbol of hope and justice, was pushed to his breaking point, well, the story is going to blow your mind. It's a tale of heroes, betrayals, alliances, and the question, how far should a hero go to protect the world? So, Injustice kicks off with a universe quite like the one we know, with all our favorite DC heroes like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and The Flash doing what they do best, fighting the bad guys and keeping the world safe. But here's the twist. The story takes a dark turn, and we're pulled into an alternate universe where things go horribly wrong. At the heart of it all is Superman. But this isn't the Superman we know. See, normally, Superman is the embodiment of hope, always standing up for what's right and never crossing the line. But as Injustice opens, he's about to lose everything that holds him together. And it's all thanks to none other than the Joker. Yes, the Joker. This maniacal clown somehow manages to break Superman in a way no one ever thought possible. How? Well, it all starts with a twisted plan. The Joker, with his chaotic genius, decides to move from Gotham to Metropolis, Superman's turf. And when he arrives, he doesn't just pull any prank or rob a bank. Nope. He's got a far more sinister plot in mind, one that'll shake the DC universe to its core. So here's how it goes down. Joker uses Scarecrow's fear toxin laced with a little bit of kryptonite, a devilish cocktail to make Superman hallucinate. In his drugged state, Superman sees Doomsday, one of his deadliest enemies, and reacts in a panic. But here's the tragic part. Doomsday isn't real. In his confused state, Superman doesn't realize that he's not fighting a monster. He's actually holding his own pregnant wife, Lois Lane. And as he flies her up into space, far from any help, he doesn't realize the horrifying mistake he's making until it's too late. As if that weren't devastating enough, the Joker had one final sick twist in store. He'd rigged a nuclear bomb to Lois's heartbeat. When she dies, Metropolis, Superman's beloved city, goes up in flames. And just like that, in a single day, Superman loses his wife, his unborn child, and his city. In one fell swoop, the Joker took everything that Superman cared about. It's the ultimate psychological blow. And when the dust settles, something inside Superman snaps. The symbol of hope shatters, and he becomes something much darker. Superman's no longer just a hero. He's on a mission. And his mission? To make sure no one ever experiences the kind of pain he did. He decides that the world needs order, strict order, even if it means ruling with an iron fist. And that's where the real conflict of injustice begins. Superman's transformation doesn't go unnoticed. His friends, his allies, some are horrified. Others see where he's coming from. And we quickly see the Justice League torn apart by this divide. On one side, you have those who believe Superman's approach is necessary, like Wonder Woman, who understands his pain and sides with him, thinking that maybe this kind of rule could bring peace. On the other side, you have Batman. Ever the moral compass, Batman can't accept Superman's path. To him, once heroes start controlling people through fear, they stop being heroes. And so, the two former friends become bitter enemies. But it's not just Batman who opposes Superman. There's Green Arrow, Aquaman, and others who refuse to give up their ideals. They see the danger of Superman's growing power, the way he starts imposing his will on governments and people, all in the name of peace. And here's where things get even more complicated. Superman isn't just enforcing rules, he's taking away freedoms, all to prevent another Joker, another tragedy. Now, Wonder Woman's role in all of this is fascinating. She's always been one of the most powerful and compassionate heroes, but in Injustice, she's conflicted. Wonder Woman supports Superman, believing that his vision could bring an end to war and suffering. However, she also struggles as she sees Superman becoming more ruthless. She's not blind to his pain, and she wants to help him, but as time goes on, her loyalty to him clouds her judgment, pushing her further away from her friends. But Batman, he's relentless. Batman starts gathering allies who believe that Superman has gone too far. This group, known as the Insurgency, works from the shadows, doing whatever they can to disrupt Superman's plans. They know that they're outmatched. After all, who could stand up to Superman? Yet Batman believes that even the smallest acts of resistance matter, that standing up for freedom is worth any cost. And thus, a brutal game of cat and mouse unfolds, with Batman and his team trying to outwit Superman's increasingly totalitarian regime. And just when you think things can't get more intense, we're introduced to Superman's regime. Essentially, his army of heroes and followers who believe in his new world order. This isn't just the Justice League anymore. It's a force willing to use extreme measures. And they start to see Superman as more than just a hero. He's almost a god to them, a figure above law, someone who knows what's best for humanity. And that's where it gets chilling. When heroes see themselves as gods, who's left to protect humanity from them? Of course, not everyone's content with Superman's rule, even among his allies. Take the Flash, for instance. He's torn. On one hand, he's loyal to Superman, but on the other, he starts questioning if what they're doing is truly right. He remembers the values they used to stand for, the ideals they once held dear. And as he watches Superman's power grow, he realizes that maybe, just maybe, they've all strayed too far from the heroes they once were. Now, there are some incredibly powerful moments in Injustice that just hit you in the gut. For example, when Superman goes after Green Arrow, a hero who's always been a bit of a loose cannon but fundamentally a good guy, Superman doesn't just fight him, he kills him. And the brutality of that moment is shocking. Green Arrow wasn't just another enemy, he was a friend, a teammate. But in Superman's new world, even friendship has its limits if it stands in the way of his vision of order. And then there's Harley Quinn. After the Joker's death, she's left without her puddin'. But she doesn't just disappear. Instead, Harley becomes a wild card in the story, a surprising ally for Batman. Without the Joker's influence, she starts to question her own values, even joining the insurgency to fight against Superman's regime. Harley, in a way, represents the unpredictable nature of this conflict, a reminder that sometimes unlikely people can make the biggest difference as year one progresses. The tension builds with each chapter, and every character is forced to choose a side. This isn't just about good versus evil. It's about morality and choices and the idea of power without checks and balances. Superman's side argues that sometimes sacrifices have to be made for the greater good, while Batman's side believes that freedom and justice must never be compromised. By the end of year one, it's clear that there's no going back. Superman has crossed too many lines, and the heroes we once knew are forever changed. Friendships have been torn apart, and the world's greatest heroes now see each other as enemies. But it also raises some big questions for us as readers. At what point does a hero become a villain? And when you have the power to save or destroy the world, who decides what's right and wrong? Injustice. Gods among us. Year One is a story that forces us to confront these questions. It's not a simple battle of good versus evil. It's about how even the best intentions can lead to dark consequences, and how the line between hero and villain can blur when power is unchecked. In the end, it leaves us with a haunting message that sometimes the greatest danger doesn't come from outside threats, but from within, from the very people who've sworn to protect us. So what would you do in Superman's place? Would you hold back, or would you go to any length to make sure no one suffers as you have? That's the heart of injustice, and why this story resonates so powerfully. It's a reminder that even heroes can fall, and when they do, the impact can be felt across worlds. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments whose side you're on. Until next time, stay heroic. And remember, even heroes can make mistakes.